Video features President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda addressing political discourse, opposition tactics, and the conduct of security forces in the country.
How many times have you heard that? How many times have you
President Yoweri Museveni has defended the actions of Uganda's security agencies while accusing opposition politicians of attempting to undermine the country's democratic process through what he described as disruptive and unlawful tactics. In a recent address, Museveni alleged that some opposition figures had sought to interfere with constitutional processes, including efforts to obstruct the inauguration of a duly elected president. He also criticized what he described as the harassment and intimidation of women supporters of the ruling National Resistance Movement, arguing that such conduct was inconsistent with democratic values. The Ugandan leader also addressed the detention of some opposition members, saying decisions to deny bail in certain cases are based on security concerns. According to him, authorities had acted to protect witnesses from intimidation, insisting that the measures were intended to safeguard the judicial process rather than suppress political dissent. Museveni further maintained that the operations of the security forces reflected government's broader objectives of promoting patriotism.
See, quite often you have heard slogans, "Tugenda kwocha Kampala." How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard that? If you want to go to heaven, that is. If you want to go to Gehenna, of course you will deny. But I'm sorry, when I go to heaven, I will wait for some people. Tugenda kwocha Kampala. Tugenda kwocha Kampala. Kwocha Kampala. We are going to ban Kampala. What did the slogan Taja Kulaira mean? Taja Kulaira. Didn't you hear that? What did it mean? For people who want peace. Democrats. The translation is the elected president of Uganda will not be allowed to swear in. How will you stop the swearing in except by violence if you are not using the courts? If you are not using the courts, how will you stop the swearing in? By violence. That's what they were planning, which they tried to do, but we defeated it. All these schemes we defeat them. Tukwenda kwocha Kampala, they can't ban it. Tajja kulayira, omusajja alayira. But who are these who plan? We know them, of course. And the commentators, the ones who are talking about him, why don't you, especially maybe the foreigners don't know, who don't know our language. But our people here know. Why do they allow people to talk like this and they don't caution them? I have not heard anybody cautioning these authors of this. I have not heard it. Yeah. But now I'm telling you, because of course we have been following everything. Yeah. How many times have you heard the taunting by hooligans of especially the NRM women supporters in the words, "Mwe bikazi mwe, ye mwe abatisibye kwa Akasaggya." You stupid women are the ones that have failed us to remove this man, this Kaman. They don't even call him a man, Akasaggya. The Kaman. It is the democratic right of those women to kubasibako the Akasaggya if they support the Akasaggya. That's what democracy means, please. Ube ebikazi bwe bagira Akasaggya muleke ebikazi bwe bagira Akasaggya kabyo. Who persuaded them? But to harass our people, those who are, of course, some of them paid, because when they rioted on the 18th of November 2020, Kasero Lumumba here, the Minister of ICT is here. She came in Karamoja, she was shaking. People are rioting in Karamoja. What are they doing? They are attacking people. You keep quiet. They will lose appetite for attacking them. She's here. She can be a witness. Sirika. They will stop. But the arrested opposition lawbreakers may not get bail because they threaten the security of the witnesses. Because some people have been saying, you give these people bail, give them bail. Yes, but because they are not Democrats, when we release them, they attack the witnesses. You cannot have democracy without people with the spirit of democracy, with fascists. Why should you intimidate a witness if you are innocent? Why? And threaten. So the answer why we oppose bail is because they come now to attack the witnesses. Now, if we allow the witnesses to be attacked, in the future we shall not get witnesses. And what will happen? The security forces can even start doing other bad things. Like if they are blocked, the legal way is blocked, they can start extrajudicial executions. Shoot somebody, say, oh, he was running away. He was escaping, we shot him. You should be happy that the security forces are not doing mob justice, because the civilians gave up. That's why they do mob justice. Gave up on the legal system. But the security people are still bringing these people to court. The arrested opposition lawbreakers may not get bail because they threaten the security of the witnesses. It is this undemocratic culture of some of the opposition elements that has been provoking the security forces to fill these gaps. Therefore, what the security forces have been doing recently is not a regression in the fight for freedom, because that's what the Inter-Religious Council were worried about. They thought that Tudaye Mabega, it is not a regression at all. It is not a regression, but a consolidation of our long fight for the principles of patriotism, Moyo gwa Uganda, Pan-Africanism, Moyo gwa Africa, socio-economic transformation and democracy. Indeed, General Muhoozi recently pointed out one useful fact. He said many of these people, Ugandans, including those who criticize the NRM, go to Dubai, UAE, where the press is disciplined, and they appreciate. You cannot find in Dubai the press doing what the press does here. And they appreciate. That's why they are going to Dubai. I had never heard of Dubai until 1980 when we removed Amin. That was Dubai. What is Dubai? That women were getting cheap products there and so on. How does the press there conduct itself? Does it conduct like the ones in Uganda here? That's what one point General Mhoz pointed out. And then you say, but why do they not want the same here? That was Mhoz's question. If you think what happened to Dubai has helped to Dubai, why don't you want the same here? Therefore, those who have been putting forward the slogan Bizemu, you know they are good at bringing slogans which are just empty. Bizemu, Bizemu. Ebyedda. Kidnapping people and so on. Bizemu. Meaning, the bad things of the past have come back, are wrong. Ebyaliwo, the past happenings meant that anybody arrested or abducted would not go to court, but would end up as a dead body at Namamve Forest, the River Nile, or Kaya's farm. So to have somebody arrested and taken to court, and then you say, Bizemu, you are really deceiving yourself. You are dishonest.